God is always willing to show us His will in our lives. He is always ready to take us to a place of abundance. As the Gospel of John, chapter 10, verses 10 says, I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. Who are these to have life in abundance? These are those people who have responded positively to God's will in their lives. I appreciate the ardent followers of Catholicism Focus channel, where we take time to learn the Catholic teachings and doctrines and also Christian teachings. I thank you because you've always taken the time to watch my videos. Previously, I'd worked on 6 tips in knowing the will of God, and if you missed that video, you will get the link in the description. I also request for your financial support so that I will be able to get proper tools to help me in evangelization. So I kindly request you to subscribe, like, and share this video, as this is the best way you can be of support to my ministry. Let's get to the topic. How to respond to God's call or will. God usually tends to reveal to us His will in various forms, either through visions. For example, in the Acts of the Apostles, chapter 18, verses 9, it says, And the Lord said to Paul in the night in a vision, Do not be afraid any longer, but go on speaking, and do not be silent. Paul responded to this God's will accordingly. He thus had no fear in whatever that he was doing. We may also get to know the will of God from God's chosen ones. That's, for example, the priests or the counselors that are recognized by the church. As I told you in the other video on tips of knowing the will of God, you should seek advice from godly people. Seek advice from people who can advise you accordingly. Responding to the will of God, we are called to surrender to the will of God by saying, Lord, not my will but yours. That was the response of Jesus in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 22, verses 42. He surrendered himself to God the Father because being he was a human being, he also had the human characters. He was not willing to take up what the Lord had wanted him to do. But you see, he at the end decided to give himself to the will of God, saying, Lord, not my will, but yours be done. Also, like Mother Mary, you are called to say, Behold, I am the handmaid of the Lord. May it be done to me according to your word. Luke chapter 1, verses 38. Mary was willing to accept to bear the child Jesus, who had brought us salvation. We are also called to respond according to the will of God, not our word, but God's to be done. Behold, I'm the handmaid. How wonderful it is to respond to the will of God. Mary responded. We are also called to respond to the same. Though in the event of discerning God's will, we are called to be selective on the voices we hear. There are many voices in the world, and they may tend to confuse us. Just like Elijah, he had the presence of God, and before he could hear God, what God had wanted to tell him, we had earthquakes, fire, and strong wind, but what was not there? God spoke in silence to Elijah. That is in the book of 1 Kings, chapter 19, around verses 11 to 13. I wish you luck in responding and discerning the will of God. May God bless you. Kindly subscribe, like, and share this video to others. As I told you there earlier, I'm requesting for your support. You can give me your support through these guidelines. Be blessed.